Hi, everyone. My name is Kate Ingersoll, and I'm a writer and novelist from Toledo, Ohio. I wrote a novel in 2015 called The Lace Makers, and I had every intention of reading the first couple of chapters for you. Yet, when I was preparing to do that, I realized that the way that I wrote this novel was very different than the way that I wrote other novels. I had written four previously, and the characters came to me in a very different way than the Lace Makers did. And I realized that this novel is something that you're going to have to experience internally for yourself to hear the voices in your own way. In the past, when I've written novels, I would just get images in my head and I would write what I saw. And then I could just hear the voices very clearly as I did that. With the Lace Makers, it's a different story because it's based on fact. It's a historical fiction novel that takes place on one day during the Civil War and on one day during World War II during the Holocaust. And it's a story of two young women. One is an 8-year-old girl living in slavery in Lincoln County, Tennessee. The other is a 16-year-old girl who is in a concentration camp in Bergen Belsen. And these characters came to me in a way that I did not expect, in a way that was very unusual. And so when I was writing the story, I had to be very mindful of getting out of the way so that their stories could come through. And I realized in getting ready to prepare these videos for you that it wasn't going to be possible to give them their due, to allow you to experience them in your own way. So what I'm going to do is just read the opening quotes to you now, and then down below you'll see links to my blog. One link is to Emerald's first chapter, in which she describes her experience as her day opens at dawn on the last day of the Civil War. And then there's another link for Karin's story, and her story also begins right before sunrise on the last day of her incarceration in the concentration camp. Uh, Emerald's voice is very different than Karin's, and yet their stories are very similar. The Civil War and the experiences of slaves were not unlike the experiences of people in concentration camps. Yet the difference is Emerald was born into that, and Karin was thrust into that at age 16. So I'm going to let you read them yourself and let you experience them in your own way. The Lace Makers is a very it's just a very different kind of novel than I was used to writing. So I found it to be a very internal experience, and I'd like that to be the same for you. The two quotes that I chose at the beginning of the novel, one is by Frederick Douglass, and the other is by Marcus Tullius Cicero. Frederick Douglass said, "No man can put a chain around the ankle of his fellow man without at last finding the other fastened around his own neck." And Marcus Tullius Cicero said, "The life of the dead is placed in the memories of the living. The love you gave in life keeps people alive beyond their time. Anyone who has given love will always live on in another's heart." And so as you read this novel, you might discover what I did when I was going through the editing process, that both stories, while historically accurate, are really the stories of young girls and their mothers, and the relationship between the mother and the daughter as they endure the experiences of life. So I hope that you find meaning in reading these two chapters. Please feel free to leave comments in the section below or ask questions. I'd be happy to answer them for you. And you can like or share this video with anyone who you think might find meaning in it. The Lace Makers will be released once again on June 21st on Amazon.com, and you can download it in digital format or order paperback copies. So I look forward to sharing more videos with you about this novel. And until then, enjoy the links below, and I will see you soon. Thank you.